Hello viewers, this is Rafi and I am representing syllabus. Hope you are going well. You already have an idea what is going to happen next. Over the next 7 days, I propose to discover the most effective method for increasing vocabulary and fluency in English, and I will also share my experience with you. For that, I will try all possible ways that we can apply in our day-to-day life. The previous viewers aware about that I am a blogger and primarily focus on exploring nature. It is difficult for us who are not a native English speakers to take attention of others with English fluency. From there, I decided to enhance my fluency and vocabulary in English. Go for now to plan the ways how we can improve our fluency and vocabulary in English. After woke up, I thought about that what people think fast in this situation. From there, I get this like read story books, academic books, English newspapers, watch movies and songs in English. I will try all of this in day 1 and after that I will give you a review over there. With all this happen, I will also try to find the way how can I memorize the unknown words as soon as possible. Later of the day time, I also practice to speaking English for some time. We know about that first step is the biggest step to success. I have taken my first step, now it is your turn. I do not read story books, so I did not have any in my collection. For that reason, I went to market to buy a story book. Here it is, Dopamine Detox. Actually, it is a small book with 51 pages. For the lack of habit to read a story book, I buy a small book so that I can continue my concentration to complete this one. Though it is a small book, it gives an important message about our mind to give concentration any work in 6 parts. So, if you are unable to give attention to any work, I suggest you to read this one. When I start reading it, I was curious about the topic that influenced me to go ahead. After reading story books, we need to understand about the story. Without that, the spending time to read story books does not come to any work. After complete reading, I took 5 minutes to talk about what I read from this book, but failed to cover everything. After that, I took a pen and paper to note down what I want to explain. At that time, it was going well compared with before, and the sentence was in a sequence. According to the psychology of the human brain, it is 3 times better to write than read to memorize anything. In the morning, I decided to apply all the words that I said with some sequence of time. But after complete reading a story book, I realized that if I do that, I cannot make everything perfect. For that reason, I will apply a single arc with a compatible time. At the end of day 1, the first assignment is, before speak anything, we have to write down the script what we want to deliver. It will help us to arrange the sentence structure and the sequence of sentence what we want to speak. Otherwise, the sound will not so good to hear. Welcome to the second day. At present, I am in Shahidul Islam Hall of Kuwait. In every day, newspapers are collected in common room. After woke up, I went there to read newspaper. When I was about to start to read newspaper, I saw a magazine. At that time, I thought that newspaper carry a lot of information and the magazine carry a small amount of information. So if I go with newspaper, I can lose my concentration to complete it. For that reason, I go with magazine and take a look over newspaper. In that time, I noticed that in magazine and newspaper, some words are quite hard for beginners. Now it is time to read academic book. Every one of us read academic book regularly. I have a suggestion: when we read academic book, note down the meaning in your native language. At first, buy an office file and some offset paper with some different types of color pen. Decorate your hand note with color pen that will give you energy to go ahead because everyone likes to decorate his surrounding area. If our notepad looks cool, then we feel an interest to make it in a larger scale. After that, I decided to talk about my childhood to present time, what I can memorize right now. I attempt several times. In first attempt, it was worse than I thought about because the sentence was not completed. So I take time to arrange the sentence what I will describe. In second attempt, it was going well because the sentence was completed, but the sentence sequence was not correct. By practicing several times, I could feel that it is developing. So, for my second day, I would like to say that if you are so much interested to develop your fluency in English, then do practice with every work what you are doing right now. At first, make a story about your work with your thinking and make some sentences how you will describe it, and then talk about it. There is no meaning of this practice if you cannot talk. So, in the background of this practice, you have to have personal interest to develop your skill. In the first 2 days, I tried reading to speaking. Now it is time to go for listening to speaking. In the morning, I was watching movie and TV series. When I was watching movie and TV series, it was going wrong with me. I could not concentrate to watch movie and TV series at a time to read subtitle. At the time of scrolling YouTube, it suggests me some motivational speeches. It was able to create interest. Among of them, Muniba Mazari's favorite one, The Iron Lady of Pakistan. I heard it about 5 times after knowing herself. She has also a YouTube channel. You can search it by her name. It is Muniba Mazari. Let it go now. When you watch any movie, TV series or others, use earphone or headphone to take the feel of English speeches. It will create something in your mind. In the evening, I again sit for speaking practice. At first, I tried to explore the movie that I watched, but from inside of mind, it was coming out that try to describe Muniba Mazari. I go for that one. In her motivational speech, she shared her life story. She is leading perfectly an imperfect life. It was so much motivational that her speech influenced me to open it 5 times. Come to the end of day 3, I think listening is quite better than reading to practice speaking English. Because when I practiced to talk about Muniba Mazari, it was not so hard. I felt normal and the story was set up in my mind. Actually, when you go for reading to speaking English, at that time we need to create the story what we want to talk about. But when we watch any movie or motivational speech, it throws their story to our mind and we need not to create about it. So I think listening is quite better than reading to practice speaking English. Sometimes when people talk about fluency, they just mean speaking a language well. For some people, speaking English fluently just means having a good general level of English. But fluency is more specific than that. Fluency means you can speak smoothly, do not stopping and hesitating. There are 2 sides of fluency. The one side is physical. Your mouth have to be produced and connect English words and sounds in a fast, smooth way. The another side is mental. Your brain have to choose the right words and build English sentences quickly and smoothly. We have to work for both sides. When we speak in English, it is necessary to have grammatical knowledge to make the sentences meaningful. Fluency in English is not only speaking English but also carry it in a correct way. To make the sentence correct, we have to read grammar. When we are in initial stage, at the time of speaking, we make many grammatical errors, but we cannot understand it. So, at first we have to note down what we want to deliver and check the grammatical error. By practicing, the error will be decreased day by day. By doing this, we can develop our mental side of fluency. After day 4, I will say that at first we have to work for mental side of fluency. For that, we have to read grammar. Next, we have to work for physical side of fluency. The mental side of fluency will give us a strength to develop our physical side. By speaking practice several times, the physical side of fluency will develop to the next level. In day 5, I realized that fluency in English is quite better now. Here I would like to share a story about this video. Actually, in day 1 when I was recording this video, it took 2 hours to record only 30 to 40 seconds. Now I can cover 1 minute in 1 hour. So it is quite better now. In the previous some days, I was practice reading and listening to speak in English. Speaking capacity is more hard than reading and listening. So I decided to practice speaking for the rest of 3 days. The main focus of this day was how many ways I can find out to practice speaking English. The first task for us to create a story about anything what we want to describe. We can use diary, notepad to write every day about new thing and try to talk about it. When we walk alone or spend relaxed time, we can try to speak in our mind. It will increase our capability. Thinking is a big power. To do anything, try to think about the way to develop yourself. The rest of 2 days I thought about speaking error. The first thing I realized that when we speak fast, we make mistake to arrange the sentences. But if we talk slowly, our brain gets some time to arrange the sentences. So in the initial stage, speak slowly. After that, you will increase your speed. The second thing is, if we record our voice in the time of speaking, we can easily understand about our quality to speak. Besides of speaking English, our body language is also an important thing. We can speak in front of mirror so that we can improve our expression to speak. That's all for now. You can connect with me through Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, link in the description. You can also subscribe my channel to connect with me and hit the bell icon to get notification of my every video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.